So let's play some bingo. Does Keir Starmer, the Labour Party, really get it? Immigration. The people of the UK genuinely, after speaking to real people on the streets of the UK, people in the UK believe, they see it, they feel it, that the UK is literally being invaded. The illegal immigration, the hundreds, thousands of people coming over on boats all the time, that is what people see, that's what people feel. The knock-on effect to energy, education, travel, infrastructure, everything is being impacted, what real people are feeling. So, Keir Starmer, your number's not quite up there. Let's go on to net zero, energy costs. Net zero is all about green, sustainable energy. It's all about being self-sufficient. It's all about using solar, using batteries. It's all about using wind farms. The promise is energy is going to come down. Do you remember that? £300 savings across all families of the UK. That's not what people are feeling. What they're actually feeling is the most expensive energy that any of the European countries are actually paying for. Unfortunately, Keir Starmer, your number's not getting up there. Let's talk education. Education. So they've put VAT now on private schools. And that might seem like, oh, that's a positive. Let's generate more taxes. But what's the result of this been? The result has been many of the children, our children, the most innocent of society, are now literally parents are trying to move them into state schools. People are either trying to sell up and sell their homes so they can continue to pay due to the significant rise in costs, or they're transferring to state schools. What's happening in state schools? Well, what's actually happening is the teachers are under severe pressure. Teachers have literally, they've got classes full of children and they are severely being tested. The knock-on effect is there's special needs children that need specialized care. The school system is under severe pressure already, and now you've got a tidal wave of people coming into state schools. So this raising taxes, believing that they're going to generate more money so that they can employ more teachers, well, teachers are under severe strain. They are really finding it extremely difficult to do what they love to do. Teaching is truly one of the disciplines that people genuinely come into because they care. It comes from the heart. They want to teach children and they're suffering. Keir Starmer, unfortunately, your number is not coming up here. So far, it's not very good with your bingo. Let's talk about another really important part of society. Let's talk farmers, or let's put in there pensioners as well. Our farmers, the great British farmers that are literally working while we're asleep in cold mornings, cold nights, working to grow our food that we go into the supermarkets with. Our farmers work, they get squeezed. They are literally at the bottom of the food chain. Squeeze. So what do? We start going into the rising taxes of farmers, inheritance tax. Unfortunately, the card that you're playing isn't doing too well. Pensioners, we are experiencing some extremely cold winters. This is a knock-on effect when you think of it gets compounded to high energy costs. Now, literally, we've got our pensioners that have worked their entire life. They are now considering whether to turn heatings on because they can't afford it. So what do? we take away their winter fuel allowance. Unfortunately, we're not doing too good at this game right now. Unfortunately, pensioners, farmers, they are not very happy at this moment in time. Let's go for another card that we can play. Let's talk businesses. Small businesses, the bread and butter of our society, the foundation. When you think of small businesses, when you think of medium businesses, when you think of big business, small businesses, medium-sized businesses that employ 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. What has happened here? Well, what's actually happened is national insurance from employers have increased. What basically means every single employer has now had a tax on jobs. If you employ people, you're being taxed for it. Instead of getting people into work, we're now penalising businesses that want to employ, that want to grow. This is an attack on small businesses, innovation, growth of the UK economy. Unfortunately, this game of bingo is not going too well right now. Let's talk security. Let's talk everyday groceries. Let's talk fundamentally inflation, rising costs. There's been a pay rise. There's been a minimum wage pay rise, national living wage pay rise. That's like, yeah, we should celebrate that. It's no good if the prices just get increased as well. This is the thing. When you increase costs to business, what actually ends up happening is they just increase prices. So it's all well and good saying we're going to have a 7% pay rise, a 10% pay rise. It's no good if all prices across the board start to be increased by 15%, 20%. I know for me, and I'm sure for you, you felt your groceries every week shop gone up. Keir Starmer, unfortunately, this game of bingo is truly not going too well at this moment in time. The list goes on. Over the last several months, I've taken the time to genuinely pick people at random on streets to ask them just questions. How are you? How are you feeling? What do you think of energy costs? What do you think of grocery? What do you think of inflation? What do you think of immigration? What do you think of all these very important topics? Every single one of them, every single one, are not happy because they feel like the priority is everybody else apart from the people of the UK. This is the sad reality of what we find ourselves in. The sad reality that the people have had enough. They've had enough of Tories, of Labour, and the only party that has shown now through the by-election, that has shown now of local election, the only party that people genuinely feel like they can truly make an opposition to the current government is Reform UK. Nigel Farage. This is the reality of this game. We had no numbers, Keir. Nothing is resonating. Everywhere you're turning is simply not good enough. Here's a couple of things that I believe need to be done. Number one, people of the UK need to feel that they are number one priority. Immigration, legitimately, it needs to feel like there is the army at our borders. We need to see the numbers of illegal immigration come right down and build that trust back up. Literally having police at the border, literally having the army at the border. It feels like that for general public. It feels like they're getting invaded. That's what actually needs to happen. Anybody that's in the country that has come in illegally, so they've broken the law to come into the country, every single one of them needs to be detained, found. Where are they? What are they doing in our streets? They need to be removed from our way of living. Now, of course, there's going to be some areas and some people that, for whatever reason, they felt the need, the choice to have to come here over on a boat. But here's the reality. We have pensioners freezing. We have veterans on streets not being looked after. That is actually what is happening. Another thing that needs to happen is we need to start industrializing the UK once more. The steel works. We need to pump massive amounts of investment into steel, into our energy. We need the ability to be strong, and ultimately everything that we possibly can do to be self-sufficient, and not in the name of net zero, simply in the name of bringing our energy costs right down, massively increasing production efficiencies. Let's talk finances. What actually needs to happen is we need to understand what's happening in the public sector. We need to understand what's happening with healthcare. We need to understand what's happening with the NHS. And everybody has a right to the NHS. We need to protect the NHS at all costs. At all costs. But that doesn't mean that we need to think about the efficiencies. We need to think about the processes, the systems. We need to think about how quickly we can get into appointments, how quickly people can get looked after because their health is on the line. And this bingo game could continue. I just watched this video from Keir saying, I get it. I'm not sure whether he does after playing our little game of bingo. Let me know. Does he get any numbers for you? Comment down below, let me know. Did you know that less than 5% are subscribed to this YouTube channel? We talk politics, we talk taking action and being positive in the UK. Let me know your comments down below. Hit the subscribe button, give it a big thumbs up. This is Kev from Uncensored Streets. Speak soon.